Good morning, traders. Richard here doing a quick Bitcoin review, Ichimoku cloud chart review. Bitcoin's now up about 70% since the initial cloud chart cross buy signal back here. There were many other buy signals. This cloud chart support rebound here, then another cloud chart support rebound here, then we got another classic turning line crossing standard line buy signal there. So we had a cluster of buy signals back here in September, October. Now we had a very strong rally. Also, Bitcoin broke out of this consolidation period to cross the 100,000 mark and is trading around about 103. So far so good. Very strong performance. The risk now is we're a little bit extended from the top end of the cloud here. You can see where the support levels are, and we'd ideally like to see the standard line of the cloud starting to find support, and we suspect that support zone will be around the 92,000. So we can expect this top end, front end of the cloud here. Let's take that zone there as well as a major support zone for the quarter, and then these old highs here now should come into play to be tested for support. So the 100,000 will be retested for support after this breakout. We always get the kind of retest of that zone for support, but this is the new support zone between 99 and 91 on an Ichimoku cloud chart perspective on the daily. Now I'd watch it out for the standard line here to catch up and maybe level out here at the 96,000, and that can be another new support zone. But look how we had another secondary rebounds here from the turning line as smaller kind of entry points there. But a little bit extended now. Has been quite a party getting to the zone. So let's go and take a look at the weekly. Now the weekly chart, we had a beautiful cloud chart breakout, cloud chart cross breakout bicycle back here in October of 2023. Strong rally, became a bit extended from the top end of the cloud. Pulled back to the standard line of the Ichimoku cloud as well as the top end of the front end of the cloud for support, and then broke out of that trading range and then moved higher to where we are now, 103,000. So a little bit extended now on the weekly as well, so do expect some form of a consolidation. Interestingly enough, look at this upward continuation pattern here from this move up, pull back up. It's almost symmetrical, so we could make a Fibonacci projection on that level there to see where this rally could top out. So looking at this significant low here and doing a Fibonacci retracement calculation from this low to that high. So this move did have a 50% Fibonacci retracement, and that coincided very well, almost like clockwork, to the point here with the bottom end of the front end of the cloud as support. And note also that the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement is a little bit just below the, well above the top end of the cloud there. So we can expect a similar type retracement in Bitcoin at some point. Now that this extended upward continuation pattern is now almost complete. This move, pull back, this move. So now let's go and measure the Fibonacci extension from this move and see where we're at. Yeah, we can now see if we project a Fibonacci extension on here. That zone there, the $103, $102, $1,000 is more or less a 61.8% Fibonacci projection of this move on the weekly. Now, if we look at where can we pull back to of this particular move, then we have to look at a Fibonacci retracement on that zone there. So Fibonacci retracement on the weekly from that zone will bring us back to about 85,000. So keep that in mind. That's now this entire move with the Fibonacci projection from there. Now let's take a look at this move here. So the downside risk on the Fibonacci retracement on the weekly is about 23.6% to 91,000, and then a 38.2% would be 83,000. So these are the downside risk targets in a Fibonacci retracement and consolidation now that we've had such a strong rally. So these are the downside risk targets, 91 and 83 for a pullback on this level. And by this time we do expect these standard line and a turning line of the cloud to catch up with those two support zones. So if there's any weakness in Bitcoin over the next couple of weeks, it could pull back to these support zones. That's now on the basis of we're looking at this upward continuation pattern, up rally, pullback, rally. It's almost symmetrical between this move and that move. So we project that move on top of that one. Then we can do a Fibonacci retracement of this move, and these are the two support zones, 91 and 83. But that's all on the weekly. Let's go and look at the daily again quickly. Looking at this in time mode from this low up to this higher, the Fibonacci retracement on this one, the 23.61, is about 91,000. That coincides well with our front end cloud chart support zone. So that's the level to keep an eye on. If we see any weakness in Bitcoin, it could come back, dig into this base and look for support. Now if we move this Fibonacci line to this low here, where the really most recent advance has really started gaining momentum, you can see that one is once again just above these highs, is the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement of this move. So that's the downside risk, is 92 and 86 on the daily, and it coincides well with our other values of 91 and what's the other one, 80, 83, 85, 81 on the weekly Ichimoku cloud. So strong rally in Bitcoin. Just be aware of any kind of consolidation, profit taking, and consolidation back down to key support zones now that we've broken through the 103 zone. But that's so far so good. Very strong rally, nice strong cloud chart cross buy signals to the upside, but also note that we are a little bit extended from the daily and then also from the weekly top end of the weekly Ichimoku cloud. So there's quite a lot of risk in this rally. The rally is getting long in the tooth now and very extended, so keep an eye on the trailing stop losses there. Looking at the 4-hour intraday chart, the key levels to watch out for is this 95,000, roughly 95,000, the bottom end of the cloud. This is now a new major support zone on the 4-hour. Can expect the top end of the cloud as well as the bottom of the cloud be tested, and then just keep an eye on this. Is now the kind of the line in the sand for the rest of December for Bitcoin to remain bullish. Any price action below here will be bearish on the 4-hour, but as long as we're above the top end of the cloud, yeah, the rally's okay. A little bit extended from the top end of the cloud, so do expect some form of a consolidation back down to test the 98.829 zone or the 100,000 zone, as well as note the standard line and the turning line there. That's the new support zones at 98.8 and 98.6. So these are the new support zones on the 4-hour looking at Bitcoin. If we take our analysis one step further and we look at Bitcoin from a point and figure chart perspective, we can see Bitcoin just recently, well, today overnight, met the 100,000 upside point and figure chart target. This target came on the 15th of November. That was confirmed when we broke past that zone. So you can see we took out the 100,500 and now we're very close to 105,500, about 2.7% away. The next one after that is 109, and then there's much higher targets, 124 and 145,000. Now, do expect a significant consolidation before we get to those targets. Do expect some form of consolidation because we've met this target. We've met all these targets recently. Now the Bitcoin is ripe for some form of a consolidation, a bit of profit taking in and around these levels. So soon after hitting any one of these targets, we took out the first one. Not sure if we're going to get to 105 or 109. A few percentage points away from that. That's now the high-low 500 by 3 point and figure chart. If we're going to look at it on a, where's the other one, percentage, a points basis, that will give you a little bit more as a logarithmic scale. Let me just double check that is points there. That's points, yes. This is still the points one. You can see 112, 123 is the upside targets here, but we've already met a whole cluster of 91, 92, 94 upside point to figure chart targets. So do expect some form of consolidation around the 100,000 level based on this point and figure chart analysis. Looking at the log scale, 1% by 3 point and figure chart is a logarithmic scale. Point of figure, you can see we met this 98,095 and 100,959 upside point of figure chart targets. Took that out. Now we still have a very strong uptrend looking at the 45 angle of the point of figure chart. Next targets 112, 128 and 179, but it'll take quite some time to get to these particular targets. Do expect some form of consolidation now that we've hit the 100,000 targets. We've met multiple targets here, and the next few targets are rather far away, and that is a bit of a risk that we could see a bit of a point of figure chart consolidation. Now, what to look out for? is a reversal. So when we get a reversal to the downside, that'll print a little circle in that box there. That will signal the end to the current rally. But until then, Bitcoin is still in a strong uptrend until we get that point and figure chart reversal. 112 is the next upside target, but the other ones, 123, 128, and 179, is quite far away. And having met this entire cluster of upside targets, do expect some form of a consolidation here. And if we get the reversal, it could come back to the trend line here. And that coincides, these trend line support levels coincides well with our Ichimoku cloud chart analysis earlier, showing where the support zones are. But any kind of downside or point and figure chart reversal to the downside on Bitcoin could signal the start of a consolidation back down to retest this 98,000 upside target that we met, as well as the bottom end of the support zones here. That 94, and then again this 90, and then 88, and that coincides well with the other targets downside support targets that we've identified. Until next time, happy cloud chart and point and figure chart trading. Bye for now.